Hi, actually, good evening. Welcome everybody again on my channel, and I hope you enjoyed the previous movie showing my agile path, which I follow every day to Leiden Bioscience Park in Leiden, in Netherlands. So today in this vlog, which I entitled with a reason, location matters, I will share furthermore my thoughts and actually why I chose Leiden and why I chose Leiden Bioscience Park as the location of my startup. For those of you which never been in Netherlands, Netherlands in general it's a very small country with relatively high density of inhabitants. But what is fascinating is, of course, more fascinating is how you start the business in this country. And I think open culture and being pragmatic is very, very important in the Dutch society, especially when you think that Dutch people can speak English very well. So it's definitely one of the best countries for people which speak very well English and want to perform business in Netherlands. So coming back to location and why location matters, for me personally, this agile path started all the way before I registered my company, and I had the opportunity to take a part in a lecture, very interactive lecture in one of the top schools, business schools in Europe, which actually happened to be the Rotterdam School of Management, RSM. And what I learned there indeed, that how really important, we don't really sometimes realize, but how really important location is for development and growth of your startup, of your company. So for me that was really important to really get idea and impact from this lecture. Yeah, indeed, I must choose the location really well. And what also helped me is how close I was living to Leiden in that case, and Leiden Bioscience Park, which is, by the way, from Hague, 15 minutes by train. But that was not the most important reason. The most important reason was actually what kind of ecosystem I will enter, and is this ecosystem going to support me, going to give me great alignment with my agile startup. So what happened is that if you think about making the decision, final decision, of course for me it was important to do some research. And interestingly, I'm academic with very strong entrepreneurial mindset. And as an academic person, as a scientist, I realized that, yeah, I want to continue developing entrepreneurial type of science in my startup. And importantly for me was that Leiden, and Leiden itself, even as a small city, has the oldest university, Leiden University, dated from 16th century. And what I found almost stunning, and I was super excited, is that actually from this city, this Leiden University is affiliated with 16 Nobel Prize winners, physicists like Einstein, like Lorentz or van der Waals, also biologists like, that's difficult name, I have to check this name, like Eindhoven, which got a Nobel Prize from physiology or medicine. So that was very inspiring, that my startup can be located in the city with very old university where Nobel Prize winners were working or came from. So that was extremely fascinating, and it still is so I think a lot of people don't appreciate and take it for granted, but Leiden is a really special city and should be very much recognized worldwide, which is not always the case. So top science, top research. But it is not just the city, it's also the Leiden, and I think that's the most important reason, the business ecosystem of Leiden Bioscience Park, which also is the oldest and the largest science park in Netherlands. And what I would like to share here, especially, is that Leiden Bioscience Park has about 215 organizations, where out of this 215, around 150 there is 150 companies, life sciences companies, and around 11 research education institutes, which are representing Leiden University and Leiden University Medical Center. And this means even you follow this agile path, when I work every day, you can very quickly see that how many company building is surrounded by actually campus or academic institutes, research institutes, or university building. And this is really amazing to see this, based even on this location, how aligned this and interconnected companies with academic institutions are, which I also really found fascinating. Every day I'm passing all these buildings to get to the startup office. So that's really something which is very unusual and very special for Leiden, and I think that's what we should be proud for Leiden, for top research science Nobel Prize winners, but also for actually the infrastructure, which almost would suggest that there is super tight collaboration between academic institutes and industry. And I hope that this will even grow in the future, because so far this is under development. So I think my company also means to generate agile impact through building these collaborations between academia and industry. And definitely this infrastructure of this business ecosystem in Leiden Bioscience Park helps tremendously. So coming back to all these reasons which I talked about, from this beginning of starting my first startup company, Bio-Inspire Think Tank, was also important for me to really memorize the day where I will enter Dutch Chamber of Commerce and register my company. And that was 17 July 2017, so 4 years ago. And I think within this 4 years, what was also beautiful to see is that from Leiden Bioscience Park, there have been great initiative from steering committee driven by Leiden Bioscience Park director Thijs de Cleer, and tremendous work of a great follower of Leiden Bioscience Park history, Cor Smith, which presented a history of Leiden Bioscience Park up till now in a beautiful book. And I am really happy that this book, I could actually receive this book. And what made my smile even bigger is that I am in this book. My startup is placed in this book as one of the startups or companies, and I'm truly happy because this is this also brings a little point on the map in growing my startup. And if you have any chance to come here to Leiden, please ask also as an external guest if these books are available, because you will be very fascinated about the history, how was what was the reality actually doing business in 70s up till now. And I think this book shows really beautiful journey, history of Leiden Bioscience Park and life sciences business sector. So I really recommend if you have a chance to see this book. And I think this book, talking about this book, I could do for hours. But what is the most important is to building your own path, building your own, in my case, agile path to grow my startup. And this is what is important here is to develop innovative projects through collaboration with academia and industry, and push the innovation, the bio-innovation, to the next level. So I think this is what I would like to share with you tonight. It's 6:45, so I think it's a good time to leave home. And for the next time, I hope that I'm going to share with you more knowledge and experience which I built during starting my company, and that you can indeed also use my experience to actually empower yourself and take maybe a next step in your career to start your own company. So thanks a lot for attention. Greetings from Leiden Bioscience Park, from the starter office. As you can see, we have really great areas where we have desks, but also we have great recreational areas where we can sit and take a rest. So that was very nice for me to share this moment with you and talk about why location matters. Thank you for your attention.